Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today I'm very excited. We are going to play with the newest Colourpop collection. This was their Valentine's launch. It launched, I believe it was like a couple weeks ago, but I have the majority of the products. I didn't get all of them. I do buy all of the products with my own money, so I generally, unless there's something I really need or want, I generally don't get full collections because there's usually one or two products in them that I know I'm never going to use. So instead of wasting money on it, I'd rather just leave it for, you know, someone who actually will use it. So this is the Lost in Love collection. This is the outer box for the palette. There is I think it's a 12 pan eyeshadow palette, 3 Jelly Much eyeshadows in the collection. There are 3 of their new-ish cream blushes, and then there was a Glitterly Obsessed glitter gel, and then 3 ultra glossy lips as well. I did not pick up the glitter gel or the ultra glossy lips. I do love a good lip gloss, but I find myself not really using them as much as I should. So while 2 of the 3 colors actually looked very pigmented and very beautiful, I didn't think I would use it that often, so I just kind of left those alone. But I do have the palette, the Jelly Much eyeshadows, and the cream blushes that I'm very excited to try out. So if you are interested in looking at these products, stay tuned. We're going to get into it in a minute. But if you are new here, please be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I do makeup reviews and tutorials that are more for beginners or everyday, and I don't use any crazy filters or crazy edits to deceive you, basically. I'm going to show you how products work on real skin, and I am over 40, so keep that in mind as well with dry skin. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so I zoomed in just a little bit. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more as we get through this, but I wanted to start with the Jelly Much eyeshadows. So if you've never used a Jelly Much eyeshadow, they are jelly in nature, and they're more of a gel-based eyeshadow. So I would consider it more of a cream. It's definitely not a powder. It's more of like a cream eyeshadow. And the 3 Jelly Much eyeshadows come in these very cute boxes. They have little hearts. I just need my camera to focus. There we go. So there's some little hearts on the packaging. It says Jelly Much on there. And all 3 of them come in this exact same box. And then the 3 of them will come in these little pots. And the top is colored, themed, I guess I should say, for the theme of the collection. If you buy any of the other Jelly Much shadows they have, they'll come in the same component, but the lid will be white. Whereas this one is pink, so that if you have it sitting, you know, like this on your makeup vanity or wherever you keep your makeup, you'll know that this is one of the special colors without, you know, having to open it or look on the back. So the 3 of them, the darker one that I have here is called Moon and Stars. There's a lighter one called All Love. It's like a light baby pink. I'm going to swatch it in a second here. And then a whiter color that's called Forever Valentine. And when you open them, they're very similar to any other kind of cream shadow. It's going to come with this little stopper. And the stopper does tell you, like, don't throw this away, keep it. Definitely keep it. Do not get rid of it. It's going to help keep your jelly eyeshadow from drying out quicker. So let me just swatch these really quick, and we're going to play around. Alright, so I have the 3 shadows swatched, but I just wanted to show you, if you've never seen them before, this is the consistency of it. Here, hello, there we go. So it's very gel-like and creamy, and I'm just going to tell you, a little bit does go a very long way with these. So these 3 little pots might last a little while. There are tutorials online that you can find if you do need to revive them. If they do dry out on you, you can revive them with a little bit of distilled water. But these are the 3 that are in this collection. So this is Moon and Stars. Next to it is All Love. It's more of like a baby or pink. And then the last one over here is Forever Valentine. So these are the shadows. And you can see they're very reflective. They look almost wet. They do dry down, and once they dry down, there's no creasing. The shadow doesn't tend to, you know, dribble down your face. At least I've never noticed any of that. If you have a different experience, definitely let me know. But once they dry down, they're there until you take them off. So those are the 3 Jelly Much eyeshadows. All right, the next product that we have in the collection are the 3 lip and cheek balms. So these are cream blushes. You can use them on your cheeks, your lips, maybe your eyes too if you want, whatever. Colourpop did release a whole line of cream blushes sometime last year. I can't remember exactly when, and I didn't get any of those. I wanted to, but I let it go. Colourpop releases something generally like every week, so I don't generally buy things as they launch, especially if it's just a few little products in a small collection. I'll let it go for a little bit, and then I'll put in like a big order and kind of get what I want out of the most recent drops. So I wound up never getting these. I'm actually kind of glad because now I have them. So there are 3 shades, and they come in this super cute box. Obviously the package design is the same across the collection. And then it's got a little window here, and you can see the blush compact in here. And what I love about this is the compact itself is one of the heart blushes. So if you're familiar with any of the most recent Colourpop Valentines launches from the last few years, they have been doing, it started with a few heart-shaped blushes. I actually have one of them right here. This is called Let's Dance, and it's a powder blush from, I think, last year. So they look like this. They're so cute. When they dropped a couple of years ago for the first time, everybody went crazy for them. I thought they were so cute. So I picked all of those up. And then last year they released new shades of the blushes along with, I think a couple of them might have been re-released too, along with highlighters in the same compact. So that was really cool too. But this year they have done the cream blush formula that they released, and it's in the heart-shaped compact. And what helps set these ones apart from the other ones, not only is the formula different, but the compact itself is different. Whereas this one is more of a matte compact, this one's a little bit glossier. So this is one of the new shades. And there are 3. There's a light pink, what I'm going to call a medium pink, and then a darker pink. So let me swatch these really quick, and then we'll talk a little bit more about them. Alright, so I swatched the 3 blushes on the back of my hand. So the lighter pink, which is right here, is called Heart's Content. The medium one is called Adore You, and then the darker one is called Cutesy Wootsy. So let's give these a little try. So this is Heart's Content. Oh, and I forgot to show you. When you open the compact, it has a little mirror in here. I didn't take the film off yet so that it doesn't blind you, but with the lights and everything, but there's a little mirror right here, so it would be really cute for like on the go. So I'm just going to pick up a little bit on my brush here. And I don't have any blush on right now. I just have foundation, concealer, and a little bit of a cream bronzer. So I'm just going to start adding it. It's very pigmented. I didn't pick up very much at all on my brush. So it's very pigmented, but it blends out very nicely. So this is, what's this one called again? Heart's Content, sorry. This is the lightest pink one. Very beautiful on the more fairer skin tones, for sure. But yeah, that's a lot. And then I'm going to use the more medium pink on the other side. And this one is called Adore You. Ooh. So yeah, you can definitely see the depth difference in these. Whoops. So these are very emollient as well. If you have oilier skin, you might need to set it. I'm not going to today. I'm just going to kind of blend it out with my foundation brush a little bit. Kind of blend that color in a little bit. There we go. And then I can take my lipstick off and I can use the darker one on my lips. So let's do that. All right. And then with this one, I'm just going to pick it up on my finger. There we go. Oh, my lip lines are crazy today. Oh my goodness. Now, while it does say that it is a lip and cheek balm, I'm just going to warn you that there isn't any like hydration properties off of it. So it's not going to be the same as putting on like an actual tinted lip balm or an actual lip balm. It's just adding a little bit of color to your lips. I'm trying to clean it up a little bit. So yeah, so Heart's Content was over here. Adore You on this side, and then on my lips I put Cutesy Wootsy. So these are so cute. I love them. They blended out, I mean, you guys watched it. They blended out beautifully. It looks like they stain a little bit, so keep that in mind. Might be good for your lips, but I don't know if you're gonna want stains on your cheeks. But now we're gonna zoom in a little bit more and talk about the eye palette. All right, so last we have the Lost in Love eyeshadow palette. There are 12 eyeshadows in here. So the packaging across the board, as I've said before, is this beautiful pink background with all these beautiful hearts. It says Colourpop up here, and then Lost in Love, and this little heart in the center. And then on the back, it lists all of the eyeshadows in little heart shapes. And I do not see any eye safety warnings on here, which is interesting for a couple of reasons. You open it up, there is not a mirror in this palette. The top of it just looks like this. And then the shadows are all right here, and this is the color story. This one right here, I'm just going to warn you, is more of a topper shade. You're not going to get a lot of pigment off of it. So keep that in mind. I thought it would be kind of more like the really light Jelly Much shadow. It would be more of that white color, but it's really not. It's called Falling. So there's Falling right here. This is a matte shadow. This one right here and this one right here are both pressed glitters. There's another matte here. These three are metallics. And then the 4 on the bottom are all mattes. And I have dug into this a few times. I've used it a couple of times since I've got it, which is one reason why I didn't film right away with it. I don't like to film right away with product. I like to use it a few times to kind of get an idea. I really hate doing like first impression videos. I really like to try to use products before I film with them so that I have a full like thought process on how I feel about them. There may be times, you know, where I do a first impression with something, but generally that's not going to happen. So the pressed glitters not having eye safety warnings is a little bit interesting. I know they used to, and I've noticed since the Muppet launch that they did, what was it, for holiday 2022, I believe it was. The pressed glitter formula itself has changed. It's not as chunky as it used to be. It's a little bit more, it's easy to work with now. And here, I used to hate swatching these because they were so messy, but So the pinkier one is called Totally Smitten. And the darker one that kind of has a little bit more plum to it is called Better With You. So this is what they look like on the fingers. Ooh, trying to get my face out of the frame. There we go. So like right here, it doesn't look like there's much difference between them, but there are. And I don't mind swatching these so much anymore because they're easier to remove. So here they are. Ooh. So you can see one's lighter than the other one for sure. They are a lot easier to remove. So if you are a person who didn't like the original pressed glitter formula from Colourpop, just know that it has changed. So if you see them in any palettes going forward, it is a different formula, and they are so much easier to clean off. Like, I still have some glitter remnants on my hand, but it's not nearly as terrible as it used to be. So I think I'm going to do my favorite look that I've been doing with this eyeshadow palette. So I'm going to start with my fluffy brush. And we're going to go into the matte shade Ever and Ever, which was the kind of like matte peachy shade on the top row. And I'm going to use that as like a transition. Alright, I have that all blended out. And now for the actual crease shade, I'm going to use the matte pink. It's called Dibs. And I've only used it a few times, but I'm already kind of creating a well in the shadow, which is interesting. So you can see it's a very beautiful matte pink. I love pink eyeshadows, which is another reason why I picked this collection up. And also, I realized the other day that I hadn't picked up a Colourpop Valentines like collection, especially the eyeshadow palette, since I believe it was 2020. That was the last time. But I just really liked this one and I wanted to grab it and film with it. Alright, and then I'm going to deepen up this look with a little smaller brush. But I'm going to mix a couple of shades. I'm going to mix the shadow Just Us and Yours Truly. So it's on the bottom here. It's this dark purple and then this very dark pinkish red color. So I'm just going to dip into both of those and kind of mix them around. And I'm going to use it on my outer corner. And then just kind of bring the shadow into my crease a little bit. Like that. Alright, I have that blended out on both sides, and even though there's really beautiful shadows in the palette, I think I'm going to use one of the jellies. I think I'm going to use the one Forever Valentine as my lid shade. I'm going to try to use it on this brush, but I think it's going to work better with my finger. We'll see. This is a Sonia G Worker 3 brush that I have here. So I'm just going to tap it on my lid. Just really get it in there. There we go. Make sure it's blended on my lash line. I'm trying to keep this as more of like a daytime look, but you could go darker with it if you wanted to. Ooh, I love this eyeshadow. It's so pretty. I've used one of the other jellies the last couple of times. This is actually the first time I'm using this specific one, and I really like it. Alright, so here is the finished eye look on this eye. I'm going to add shadow to my lower lash line. I'm just going to use the exact same shadows I put in the crease on my lower lash line, just in the reverse order. So I'm going to do that really quick. I'm going to finish up this eye over here. I'm going to add a little mascara and then zoom back out and we can talk about it. Alright, so this is the finished eye look. I just added a little mascara. I used my Tartelette Tubing Mascara, which I absolutely love. I did add a small bit of black eyeliner to the look. I used... where did I throw it? Oh, now I can't find it. The Colourpop Cream Gel Liner in the shade Swerve is what I used. I just can't locate it. I don't know where I put it. Anyway, I don't see it on the table in front of me. Anyway, so that's all I did. And then I just did my lower lash line, like I said before, with the same shadows that I put in my crease. And then obviously you saw the rest of it happening live. And then I had to take the lip balm off of my lips. It was kind of drying a little and I didn't really like it. I do love it on my cheeks though. I've used them a few times. And I do love them on my cheeks as a blush, but just on my lips, I have dry lips and it didn't really work out. So I threw a little bit of this Maracuja Juicy Shift from Tarte that I have. So I just threw that on just to kind of keep it simple. So overall though, I really am glad that I picked up these products. These cream blushes are fantastic. I really love the pigmentation off of them. They blend it out really, really beautiful, and I feel they look very beautiful on the skin. The Jelly Much eyeshadows, I have a few of these. I use them often. I love them. My ride or die is always going to be those Super Shock shadows, but I really do love these as well. You can see it created a very beautiful eye look that I am in love with. You could even use it as a base for another eyeshadow or even a pressed glitter. I did that a couple of weekends ago when I used this. I used the Jelly Much. It was the other color. All Love is the one that I used. And then I used the lighter pressed glitter on top of it and it was really, really pretty. And it kind of held on to that glitter a little bit as well. So that's another use for them too if you like them. And then they do have, outside of these shades, they do have a whole array of other shades, including some neutrals. So that's something to check out as well. I will link all of the products below. The links are not affiliate links. They're just a link directly to the Colourpop site where you can find them. I did forget at the beginning there was another product in the collection too that I didn't grab. It is a blending sponge that's shaped like a heart, and it's really cool because it changes color. So when you wet it, I believe it's with cold water, it goes from red to pink. And then if you wet it with hot, it goes back. Or it's the other way around. I can't remember which way it is. But it does color change and it looks really cool. But I have a lot of sponges and I didn't really need another one right now. So I kind of let that one go as well. I figured it would sell out very quickly, but it doesn't look like it did, which I was a little surprised about. So yeah, the Jelly Much shadows, the blushes, fantastic. I love them. I'm going to get a lot of use out of all of them. And then of course the eyeshadow palette, the formula on it is typical Colourpop. They're very pigmented. They blend out beautifully. They work really beautifully together, as you can see. So it is a typical palette. Do I already have these colors in other palettes? Yes. Am I mad that I have all of them in this one? No. But like I said, while I was doing my eye makeup, I realized I hadn't bought a Colourpop Valentines eyeshadow palette in 4 years. I believe the last one was in 2020 when they did the All That palette, which is still one of my favorite palettes. I love that palette so much. But, you know, the ones they had been releasing after that just looked, you know, the same. And, I mean, you can only have so many pink and red eyeshadows in your collection. It all starts to become redundant. So I haven't been picking them up, but I don't know, something about this one, I just really liked it. I just really liked the shadows. I love that there's only 2 pressed glitters in this palette. I really don't use pressed glitters a whole lot. This new formula is a lot better than it used to be, so Like I said before, it's a little bit easier to remove, so I have been using the lighter one a little bit more in this palette. But overall, I think all of these products are great, even if you pick and choose just a couple. If you could only grab, you know, maybe one or two things, I would definitely grab one of the blushes if any of them speak to you, especially if you do love a cream blush. I think these are fantastic, and they're, you know, very inexpensive compared to some other brands out there that have also very good cream blushes. If you don't have a lot of eyeshadows, definitely the palette is another one you can grab. And then if, I mean, honestly, the Jelly Much shadows too are great too. So I don't think you're going to go wrong with anything. The lip glosses, there are 3 of them. 2 of them are really, they look very pigmented. And then the third one was kind of like a light pink, almost clear color. So if you are a lip gloss person, I do really like the Ultra Glossy Lips from Colourpop. They are very cushiony and they almost feel balmy on me. They're not sticky at all, so your hair is not going to get stuck in it. And they updated it because at one point they changed, this isn't one of the glosses, this is a lipstick that I have just to kind of show you, but they updated the wand on it because at one point it was kind of like a doe foot, and then they changed it to this brush, and I hated that brush applicator. I actually stopped buying them for a really long time because I hated that brush applicator. And then they revamped the Ultra Blotted Lips, the Ultra Matte Lips, and the Ultra Glossy Lips. I think it was a couple years ago, maybe last year. All of their launches like blend together in my brain, so it's really hard to figure it out. But now it's back to being the doe foot, so it's similar to this one, and they're really great. I have I think one of them from the relaunch that they did, and it's really, really great. So if you are a lip gloss person and you think that you'll get a lot of use out of it, those aren't going to steer you wrong either. Obviously, I have not the heart sponge, but I do have some other sponges that Colourpop has released in the past, and they're really nice sponges. So if you're in the market for a sponge, or you just like the cute little heart aesthetic, that's probably gonna be up your alley as well. But like I said, it's not really up mine right now. But overall, I'm very happy with all of these products. I'm gonna get a lot of use out of them. I love using the cream products more in the summertime, so I cannot wait for summer when I can get way more use out of these blushes, including this dark pink one. This is probably going to be on my face all summer long. So let me know your thoughts down below. If you're picking anything up, if you're going to skip, if you already have anything, let me know your thoughts. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!